Hello, people. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It's good to see you. I don't want to say again, but yes, I've been here earlier, and I don't know if you caught up with some of the things I earlier explained. This is called Witty Chat Live. Witty Chat Live, and it's a chat with people in real estate. So I'm sure you can see the beautiful lady just also on this screen or your screen. You're going to get to know her very shortly. But before that, I would like to welcome you to this show today. It's about to go down. How has the week been for you? How was work? Hope the traffic is not too much. Olamide, how was work? Let me ask you.
Work? Wow, that question is $1 million question. Work was fine. Let me just give a generic response to that.
Ah, well done, well done. So, proudly sponsored. This show is proudly sponsored by Wittyville Properties Limited, and you're going to be hearing a lot about them. They're a real estate business in the heart of Nigeria. I don't want to say Lagos. I'm used to saying heart of Lagos, but Nigeria also has a heart. So, Wittyville Properties Limited is sponsoring this live show. And the reason why we are here is to, of course, hear physical, I would say, see physical evidence from real estate people that have, been in this industry for a long time. Maybe not long, but the experience, it's always about the experience even more than the length of time, right? So you can see Olamide Oladero on your screen. Uh, so when I was going to ask Olamide that, ah, okay, tell me about yourself, send me something. What
Please don't cast
Olamide
me.
said to me, I'm going to read it out here because he made me laugh, right? Olamide simply said, I'm a salesperson and I love real estate money. That was what jumped out at me because I'm like, wow. Hey. Okay, so we're about going into the session. But before I do that, I'm going to be introducing everyone to a website or a blog, and the blog is called heorblog.com. EORE blog.com. On that blog, you're going to find a lot of valuable content, right? And if you have ever been in a state where, okay, you're wondering which of these real estate people you're seeing buy land here, buy land there, which of them is actually very genuine. When you visit yourblog.com, you're going to be able to find a lot of tips, a lot of things that will give you insight into investments on real estate properties, and you also get legal guidance. That is a plus, right? Yes. So you should visit eorablog.com, and of course, you're going to be seeing a lot of land opportunities, right? So I'm going to bring Madam Olamide Oladero to the hot seat right now. So in case you are joining us, please say hi. Tell us where you are joining us from. This is supposed to be a short session. So the first question I have for
I'm sorry,
Olamide.
please. Can you help me with your volume a bit? I don't know if it's on my hand, but I can't really hear you.
Oh, really? Okay. Let me try this. Is it better now?
Okay. I think I can hear you a bit. So if you can
Okay.
make do
Is
with
it
that.
better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
All right. So I'm going to jump right into it. The first question is, what is your name? I don't want to say your state of origin, but just tell us. Introduce yourself to everyone watching.
Okay, so my name is Olamide Oladeru, as already introduced, and I'm a salesperson, and that's like my job description.
Okay. There seems to be a network issue. Olamide, can you hear me?
Yeah, description.
Oh, this network. Olamide, can you hear me? Hi. Can you hear me, Olamide? Olamide, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm hoping you can hear me. I was saying that sorry about the break in transmission. The network has been quite troublesome. So we're still waiting for our guests to join again. Uh, okay, I can see Mr. Olauton Jeremiah saying you're welcome, Olamide. Olamide, where are you? Okay, so while we wait for Olamide to join, I was introducing everyone to a blog. I mean, I visited that website and there's definitely a lot there for you that has to do with land acquisition and plenty things like that. So you need to visit that website. You're going to get a lot of goodies. Olamide, welcome.
I'm so sorry. Network happened. Seriously
Okay.
sorry.
Yes, it's fine. So you were introducing yourself.
Okay, yes. So I was saying I'm a salesperson, right? And I work with Abode, right? And that's a prop tech company here in Lagos, Nigeria. And yeah, and I also work with them as a product manager, right? But apart from that, please, I'm a salesperson. That's one thing I love to do. So
So tell me why you love making money so much.
I, I that question is so hard to answer because I'm like, why would I want to make money? Right. But I mean, I love to make real estate money. It's before I'm going to say it's easy, right? You definitely have to know the know-how, right? You have to be equipped with all the things that are needed before I would say it's easy to, make money from the real estate industry. However, I love the money because it's very juicy. If you're a salesperson on this call, you definitely understand what I'm talking about.
Right.
So
I love the juicy parts of that response.
yeah.
So, what exactly motivated you to start your career in real estate and when did you start?
Okay. So I've been playing around the real estate industry for, let me say, since 2018 or 2017 thereabouts, because my mom happens to be a realtor and she's still a realtor up until now, right? So I've been playing around it, but I actively started in 2020 and it was out of situation. It wasn't a passion that I picked up, right? So it wasn't a passion that I picked up. I know I got back from school 2019. I graduated 2019 and I got back and they had a family meeting and said they were not going to give me money anymore. So there
Wow.
was no more allowance. And to be very honest, was I saved my money a lot while I was in school. And getting back, I had to even give my mother the whole money. Like, oh, as per good
Please
child.
tell me she
And
gave
then
you that money back. It's not the.
I wasn't giving any money back. I was
Oh
bounced
my
back
god.
with the shock of my life. And, they had told me, and I think few months down to COVID, and that was in March, she had said, oh, what she said was very serious. And I'm like, because I was still thinking they were going to pity me, but they didn't pity me. And so she told me one sure way to make money in this life, or that she's very sure is legit and you can definitely make good amount of money from its real estate industry. So I didn't want to do it before because I'm like, how do I do that? I'm a big girl. Well,
Wow.
situation will carry you to make money now. So so I started playing actively 2020. I made my first sale 2020 also. And yeah, so that was how I got into real estate.
that is very amazing. Please say hi to your mom for me for that.
I
Wow,
mean,
that's amazing. Really nice. The fact that it was like you were handed over the baton. We are continue. This is what I
yeah,
thought. So
come on,
just
continue.
continue. Amazing, amazing. So the next question is: you mentioned that you made your first sale. How long into your journey? What was the distance? When did you start? How many months into? And what was the process like?
Look at me smiling because I made my first sale the first day I made a post about real estate, right? So I every time I have to share this, is like everybody's like, okay. Yeah, so I made my first sale the first day I posted about real estate. I had posted on my status. However, I had fears initially because I'm like, who
Mm,
has millions of naira on my status, on my
mm.
contacts to want to buy, right? And yes, there's money in sales. Someone is saying there's money in sales. Yes, there's money in sales.
Yes.
So I made my first sale, and I posted the first day. I didn't want to post initially because I'm like, who's going to buy? However, that was the lie I was telling myself to not even start, right? So on that day, I was very frustrated because I don't want to be a bad child on this call. Anyways, but we had like an argument in the house, and I was like, give me the flyers, I'm going to post it. So I collected the flyers and then I posted. And to be very honest, I wouldn't have thought this person had the money
Wow. That is mind blowing. Olamide, can you hear me? Okay, looks like network issue again. But so far, I'm honestly
to
very
buy.
blown away. Okay, Olamide, are you here now? Okay, so I'm honestly very blown away by this story. The fact that her mother introduced her into real estate and then she made that first sales. First sale, the very first time she posted. I need to go and learn that arc. Where did she post it? What did she say? Amazing. So thank you, Mr. Olauton Jeremiah, for joining. It says there's money in sales. Yes, there's money in sales. Beyond that, there's money in real estate sales. Just sell one and then you get, it's the kind of money you get and your account will be shaking, bing, 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 bing. You get. So while we still wait for Miss Olamide to join us again, I would like to welcome everyone watching. My name is Dorcas. Okay, looks like she's here now. Okay, not yet. So my name is Dorcas, and this is Wittychat Live, a chat with people in real estate. So in case you are someone that is very active in the real estate field, either as a realtor, a developer, or someone that is an enthusiast, or you own a real estate company, or you know someone that owns a real estate company that should join us on this show to share their stories, real life stories, to motivate, to inspire anyone and everyone that comes across this content. Please reach out to us, follow us on social media, right? And there's so much in store for you. So I was also talking about your blog, EORE blog.com, where you would get access to a lot of juicy deals. Just like Olamide was saying before the call ended, there are a lot of juicy things in real estate. Very juicy, juicy money. Welcome back, Olamide. Sorry for the uh, plenty drama. Network can be difficult sometimes, but welcome back. So you
Yeah,
were
thank you.
explaining how that you already, what's the word? I don't say sidelined. You already profile the person not to be able to afford.
Yeah. So I hope you can see me though.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So okay, yeah, I didn't think he would have the money to buy from me, right? And he just chatted me up, and He was like, oh, I want to buy. And I'm like, I didn't even take him serious at first, right? But I later took him serious and we closed the deal. And the person even bought more than I thought. So it didn't take me, it didn't take me 24 hours.
Imagine, I love your own
That's my
story
first.
because I've heard so many people's stories says for like 1 year or some months they
Nah,
could not. Wow, this is amazing. I
no, it
can't
didn't take
forget
me.
this testimony. So the next question I have for you is, so far, right, in your number of years of playing in the real estate field, what has been a major highlight for you in your experience, especially in maybe you made an investment or something? What has been an experience that you know you'll never forget? Real estate experience.
Okay, so there are so many major highlights when it comes to the real estate space because many times I think because people do not really know what's happening there, they tend to have like different myths, right?
Yeah.
Which needs to be debunked anyway. Because in my journey of being a salesperson, there are so many things that customers would say, and I'm like, that's not so true, or that's not even true at all, right? So let me say one major highlight for me is how properties can actually gain more value over a period of time, right? You can buy a property right now in, let me say, you can have like 100% ROI on that property, and in 2 years it's already doing like 350%,
Wow.
right? That's how much lucrative the real estate space is. So that's like one major highlight for, let me say, the real estate industry for me. And secondly, as a salesperson, is how you don't need to look down on anybody. That's like see, if I'm going to talk about any major highlights, it's that one. Don't look down on anybody, because like twice I've had customers that I would not have thought they were going to buy, and they were even the one
Wow.
that bought more plots from me than other persons, right? So don't even look down on anybody at all, and that's like a major highlight. So right now I don't look at people's faces, because they can be wearing dollars and their their bank account is shaking heavily, right? And
Yeah.
definitely want to do business with you, but if you already threw them away from that space of thinking that this person can they or can they not, then it's off. So those are like two major highlights for me.
Amazing. One I'm going to pick is the fact that any real estate investment always appreciates in value. And the
Always.
second is, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear you, I can see
Okay.
you.
All right. So the second tip from the last question you answered was that you should not underestimate anybody. So for everyone watching, you can also share your experience with us in the comment section. What experiences have you had? And did you even think that the person would be able to pay you? What is stopping you from sharing that flyer on your status? Right. So jumping to the next question would be, so can you share like um challenges challenges you've had on your, say, on your journey, on your real estate journey, or whatever inhibitions you might have had? I know one of them might have been, okay, what do I say? What am I going to? Let me just leave you to answer that question. How did you overcome that challenge or those fears you had?
Okay, I feel like you stole my point. That was the first place I was going to start from. Actually, because I don't think you can actually you can make an headway with anything if you don't know about it, right? So the first thing you want to do is know whatever it is you're getting into. So for me, because I have my mom who has been in the space, it was I wouldn't say it was quite easy, because if she was busy, or there were times that she was busy and she was not able to respond to my questions. So at that point I'm like, I need to go and sit down and really study these things, because there are some people you want to make sales to, and they know more than you in that space already, right? There's some people who have been playing with the real estate space. They bought multiples of properties and all of that. And sometimes they just even want to test and say, this person, does the person even know what, he or she is coming here to do to me? Or are you even sure? Some people who just want to even intimidate you, right? So you need to like know the space. You need to know what is happening. Even as basic as knowing what is square meters, how many square meters is first one plot, how many square meters is half plot, all those kind of things. You want to know what's happening, what makes a land, appreciate what. So those are some of the things that you want to like know about. So for me, at first was the knowledge aspect. I didn't know so much about the space, right? After I made my first sale, I was like, oh, Bola, right? I was just happy. And it got to a point where I had customers who were more knowledgeable than me, and I didn't know so much. But I started making, what's it called, research. I attended trainings. I was asking my mother questions. I was just trying to bounce ideas and to just understand what this space was all about, because
Involved, yeah.
I'm very serious when I say I met people who know about properties. Oh, I knew them. And I'm not sure I was as
Please
big as
share
this
one
back then.
experience, because this I feel like there's something in that particular line.
Okay. Okay, so I know I met a customer who even has experience in, what's it called? He has experience in building, right? And
Okay.
he has experience in so many things. He was very knowledgeable. So this man is like a top businessman in quotes, right? And he has properties almost all over. So this is like a customer that is not easy for you to come and say, sir, come and buy, because he already has a lot of properties. So it was just like, I don't need it. My children are grown. This, and this person has money to pay you, right? In
Wow.
this case, he was asking, so many questions like, oh, how many square meters is this? I think he was just using my face to judge me, to say, oh, this small girl in this space, okay, let me see. And he was saying, oh, how many square meters is this? And he even gave me, I think, 5 minutes to pitch to him. That was how meticulous this man was. And he gave me 5 minutes to pitch to him. I think I used 2.5 minutes. I was timing myself to, like, many times when you meet customers, sometimes you have to also behave like them, right? Sometimes you see someone who will come and speak one kind of Queen's English to you. Please don't use Ajegunle English for them at that point. Just try and speak at their level, so that
Wow.
you cannot be selling properties worth of million and you want to act somehow to them or stuff. So you just have to like be able to relate to them on their level to some way. So when he said he gave me 5 minutes to pitch, I used 2.5 minutes and I told him all the things I needed. He was asking me, oh, how many square meters is one plot? I told him 500 square meters or 600 square meters, depending on the rules that guide the location. Was asking me, okay, if he's going to get some things to the what's it called, to the land after he buys, who are those people that I can recommend? I told him I have
Yeah.
one or two persons in the space who can. I didn't even have them safe. I just needed to go and search at that point, right? So
Interesting.
this is not even you lying, but you don't want to, you don't want to throw any of your customers away because, oh, you cannot get something at that time. You can get it, right? So don't throw your customers away at all. Just ensure that
Wow.
you're able to keep them, and then you make a research on it. And then you find there are lots of people who are in this space already. So anything they're telling you that, oh, probably they want or stuff, don't throw it away. Just tell them, oh, you'll be able to sort it, right? And if you're not able to sort it, you come back to them. But first,
Right.
catch that opportunity and see who in your network or someone who can do it, and then you do that. So that's like the first thing when it comes to the limitation I had, knowledge. And the second was where I was going to get people to buy from me. I think that's also like a problem, to get people who's going to buy. But majorly, you want to just be very smart. Don't underestimate the power of posting, the power of talking to people. My last client was, he came to work in my mom's shop, and then I was like, oh, how you doing, sir? And I just did the job well for him, what he came to do at my mom's place. I did the job well for him, and he was so impressed. It was like, because he came in to say, oh, help me do this. And then I was like, okay, why not do it this way? I think this is very better. I think when you're sending an email, it's always very important to put a subject. That was just the thing. That was the only idea I gave to him. And then he was
Wow.
like, oh, that sounds cool. Do it for me. And then I said, all right, sir. So I think at that point, I could just bring out one thing: to offer value, right? So that was the first thing that I did. I offered value to him. He paid even I more than what I charged him. And then after that, I was able to sell to him that, oh, this is what I do. And then he was like, okay, no problem, let's talk about this. And that was how we moved. So offer value also. So if you're not able to offer a value to people, you might not be able to get a point at which you might draw people in for certain things. Some people will not buy now, but they'll just hang
True.
around you and know what you do. So yeah.
Very true. So there's
Getting
a
the
question
percentage
on the
change.
screen. saying, "What would you rather sell to an elderly person with grown-up kids?" So how were you able to convince the man that said he has grown-up children and a lot of other, you know, properties?
Okay. So I think the first thing, because you're a salesperson, does not mean you should be selfish,
Mm,
right? Get to know your customers. That's the first thing. So in getting to know your customers, it also means you're gathering intelligence about them.
mm,
Oh, sir, you have children already, and they are all well and good. So at that point, really, if he has had so many properties already, what does he want to do with the property at that point?
mm,
Right? You don't run out of ideas as a salesperson. There are some things you will dance around, in talking to that kind of person, and you will be offering ideas,
mm-hmm.
right? Even though without sounding like I'm pushy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand. So, all
Yes.
right, he's telling me that he has built houses everywhere, but in Lagos he doesn't have. That's an intelligence I should catch, right? Because he's actually based in Kano. Do you understand? So
Oh.
this man is based in Kano and he's in Lagos, and then he was like, I don't need a house here in Lagos. And I'm like, oh, concerning this, and that's why you need to even know the trends happening in the real estate space. You need to know
Mm,
what's happening so much. You need to know where, how will I put it now? You need to know where people are actually concentrated at some point to actually sell properties. You need to know the value around probably your product. So if you are selling for a
mm,
company, you need to know where they are selling, what's happening around there, right? What makes property, appreciate at that particular
around
point.
there.
These are some of the things that you use
Mm,
in selling. So first is, if I'm going to sell to somebody who is grown up and has children already, and probably
yeah.
has so many, properties, first is for me to first of all gather the intelligence.
Mm,
From there, I would be able to know what I'm to offer him or not. And it's not a do or die affair. If you're not able to sell something to that person, right? The person has another person that he will be able to recommend to you.
mm,
Do you understand? So don't throw them away
yeah.
because they are not able to buy. They can link you up with someone else who can actually buy from you. Do you understand now?
Mm,
So it's a win-win thing. They might not buy from you, but they will have somebody that will have somebody. So everything still boils down to your character and how you are able to
mm.
capital at the end of the day. So don't, because this person is not buying from me, and then you're like, I'm just going to let this man go like that. Mm-mm. Person has another, like, he can have a club, he can have a community, he can have
Yeah.
a what's it called, and just because you've been a good person, the person will say, oh, I'm recommending this person
I
to
know
you.
someone. No.
And
Yes.
yeah, I know someone that knows someone and that knows someone. I know that the last one of the persons I sold to the last time was like, oh, I don't need to buy a property now, but just because of the way you've been telling me about it is the reason why I'm buying. And this man bought worth of millions just because of the
Wow.
way I've been talking to him. Maybe I'll say grace anyways, but then at the end of the day too, your communication matter and your character also matter. So I think I don't know if I was
Wow.
able to answer the person's question, but I think
Wow. 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 It has been really insightful with you on this session, Olamide.
thank you.
So I'm getting a lot of comments. So Adekunle Israel Adeomi, thank you so much for joining. He says referral is the sweetest and easiest sale.
100. I agree.
I think he can relate with you, right?
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
then Ranti Bumi, thank you so much for joining us. She says very educating. Thank you so much everyone for joining. So shortly I'm going to like go on a commercial break, right? Olamide is still here with us, and I'm going to be talking about the sponsor of this particular session called Wittychat Live, and it's a chat to read people in real estate. So the name of the sponsor is Wittyville Properties. So I'm sure when you click the link, you must have seen something about them, Wittyville Properties, and they currently have like an initiative called Rips.co, Rips by Wittyville, and it's a website. You can always visit Rips.co, and you would find a lot of, like I was saying, land offers, right? Land offers, you get connections to real estate investors with genuine properties. So this is not the case of 419 or scam. Trust is the keyword. So in case you want to sign up, you can visit REAPS, REAPS reapse.co to begin your effortless journey, right? And then you can also call 08138883406. Okay, so I can see a comment that is making me smile by Ranti Bumi. She said, make I dey save money like this. I must own property this year.
Absolutely.
On period, 2024 is our year of big things, and definitely investing in real estate is one of them. So please, you
Yeah.
can send messages to us, follow us on social media, and you get really nice and juicy um, offers. So I'm going to be asking Olamide the next question. Do you have any advice for people or someone that is new to real estate? People that are scared, people that are bothered about, okay, is this real? Are these people genuine? How would you advise them to um, research? Like, right? You mentioned research at the beginning. So, as a buyer and someone that is even in that business, you also have to research. So, before you say I'm already giving out your points now, what advice do you have?
Okay, so I think, is it a two-way question? I just want to really understand. Are you asking for advice for the buyer or for, the realtor in this point, or both of
So,
them at
I'll
the same
say
time?
the buyer. Let's address buyers. Mm.
Okay. So as a salesperson, I'm going to use that word a lot. I ensure that my customers or my prospects, in quotes, they actually do their research. As much as I am bringing a very trusted brand or product to them, one of the things I ensure that they do by themselves is to, make research by themselves. I just tell them, oh, research the company. See, go deep.
Mm.
Don't just say, oh, my friend said. Mm-mm. Don't say, oh, I saw this and I just want to take it like that. No.
Yeah.
Research. Check for, go online. Check the company. Every company today has a social media presence,
Platform.
right?
Yes.
So they can go online, check their, what's it called? Check their Instagram handle,
Website.
check Facebook, check the website. In fact, check the founders, right?
Yes. Very true.
Check the founders of the business, check comments on the company's what's it called, social media handles. Don't just take word for word what is posted and all of that. Sometimes somebody will come and complain. Or just check through that complaint. If there's any complaint or stuff, you want to dig deep into it, right? So you want to do your proper research. You want to go to their physical office if they have a physical office space. Go there and check. If you're going to, except if you have somebody who is really trusted and they've showed you that, oh, this is it, right? You might want
Yeah.
to just go there by yourself if you don't have somebody like that in there. So make all the research that you want to make. Ask questions from whosoever is selling to you, even if it's from a company. Ask questions. Always ask a lot of questions. Don't just just do it and then you leave. Ask questions. Even you yourself also make research about where you are buying. Right. One of the things I usually tell my prospects is sometimes I would even send them links. Sometimes I would just tell them, please check what is happening around this axis today. Right. Sometimes by my own self, I would post for my customers or my prospects to be able to see what's happening. Right. So you just what's it called, you just want to ensure that you do all manner of
Check.
diligence gathering before you just jump into anything, right? Sometimes, okay, I had a customer who was asking us for a particular document concerning property. I think it was a surveyor's plan or so, and the company had to provide it for him to see. So that's something, and because man was buying actually more than 20 million naira, you cannot
Wow.
just put your money in a place and you're not very sure about what you're doing. Do you understand? So if you're a buyer, you want to ensure that you are asking all the right questions that you're meant to ask. And in case you have a trusted person, maybe your friend or someone who has gone into that space and bought before, you can ask them questions like, oh, how are you able to know, or what can I ask, or where can I go to? Or if you have a lawyer that is a friend, ask them questions that they can help you ask the company or somebody. You just want to gather all the intelligence that you definitely need so that you don't miss out on anything at all.
So there's a question on the screen currently by Ranti Bumi. She says, what if they don't post negative reviews on their sites? Actually, what if they delete those
Okay,
reviews?
so on their site, that's like their website. Many times
Yes.
people don't go to the website to go and post any reviews. It's majorly on
Social media.
the social media handles. Yes. So social media handles that's where people actually post reviews. And a company might not have a negative review. They might have their integrity uptight and nothing is happening, and they don't have any negative review actually. So it doesn't mean that every company has one negative review or so. It might not even, it might be, there might be a negative review anyways. However, maybe it's not like a major one in quotes that,
Yeah.
today you buy property and then tomorrow the company is closed down, or one thing. So
Wow. Amazing. So Adekunle Israel Adewumi says go for
yeah,
inspection.
go for
So
inspection too. Very
okay.
important. So before you
Okay.
make your payment, please go for site inspection. If it's not a what's it called? If it's not a what's it called, a cooperative one, like let me say the company is organizing one, your salesperson can actually organize a site inspection for you.
For
So go
you.
there, check, and ensure that you are checking very correctly, and ensure that while you're buying self, don't pay money to the person that is introducing you. Pay money to the company's account, verify
Company.
that this is the
Yes.
company's account, and whatever the salesperson even tells you, still verify with the company so that they are not hiding anything, right, as a salesperson, and then all of that. So thank you,
Amazing.
Adekunle.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for joining Oluwatosin Titilola. Thank you so much. So my next question, and I'm sure you are wondering where all this conversation is going. Don't worry. I'm
As
taking
in,
you to the promised land. So for someone that the real estate, I don't want to say business, or the real estate um yes, the real estate business was like practically handed over to you from your mom. You were introduced, you're introduced into real estate by your mom. Can you explain how real estate contributes to generational wealth? Mm,
mm,
generational wealth. Because you now,
okay.
generational, what will I call it?
Okay. Okay, so generational wealth, that's like from one generation to another, right? I think even the Bible supports that, a good man leaves inheritance for his children, right? And I think all over the world right now, it's the real estate space, right? It's
Actually,
very important to own a part of the earth, right? Just like one of the grandfathers in the real estate space will say that the earth is the Lord, right? And it means that even his children needs to own a part of it, right? So you cannot say you don't want to own a property. I've seen so many testimonials out there whereby it was their parents that bought that property at, like, let me say 5,000 naira, or very ridiculous amount of money, and it was given to the children, and before you know it, maybe years later, right, those children then sells it, and it brings in a lot of money and everybody shares it, and then they all go around, right? So I would say, because the real estate space is majorly properties, house, lands, and some other interesting ideas are coming out right now. However, the
yeah.
major one that we've seen rooted, right, is you owning lands, is you owning a house. And it's also something that you can pass on from generation to generation, apart from even probably being a realtor, because I've said it's like, it's almost like maybe a covenant that I've made, that there's no place I'm going to get to in this world I'm not going to do real estate. I will definitely crack the code of doing real estate, because it's anywhere in the world, it's very, 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 very lucrative, right? So it means that wherever you are doing something, even as a salesperson, you to buy, don't just be a billboard to other persons,
Amazing.
right? Yeah, so you can't just be a billboard. So while you are selling to other
Amazing.
persons, as you get probably your commission or stuff, put some apart and then buy. And it's something that you can even buy in the name of your children, even your unborn children. I've heard about somebody who bought properties even before he got married. So by the time I was getting married, he already had like a property and all of that stuff. And I'm very sure that person is still going to do more, probably for his children and all of that, because that's a trait that I've seen. So when it comes to generational wealth, right, when it comes to real estate space, it's something that, because it's land, and it's I don't know how to explain. It's land and it's fixed, right? It's not something that you can just carry and take anywhere. It's something
Anywhere
that
you like.
any generation would come and meet if you invest wisely in it.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So another question I have to I've heard people say that, oh, don't go buy land inside bush. don't go too far. Don't buy land in a place that is not yet developed, because who knows? What if nobody, the place eventually does not become a city like they would usually advertise? So, how would you advise people to spot potential gold mines when it comes to land acquisition, property acquisition?
Okay. So I've mentioned before, because I love to offer a lot of value to my prospects. They actually need. Okay, I think people usually have like perceived value of you and your actual value, right? So many
Yeah.
times people just look at you and say, "Oh, this person is a good person." However, when you come closer, they kind of find out more about you. So one of the things I ensure that my prospects do is for them to research the landmarks of that environment, right? Everybody's shouting Lekki today, everybody's shouting Banana Island today, and all of that. If
Yeah.
you check the clips of way back, those places were bushes. But I'm very
Actually.
sure that the surroundings were not totally bushy as such. I don't know if you understand. So take for
Yeah.
instance, there's a place currently at let me say Ekpe for instance, and people are buying into that place currently. I know of a place that was being sold for 700 as at last 2 years rather. But that place currently is worth 4 point something million naira.
Oh.
And it's still bushy, I'm sorry to say. It's still bushy. But if at this point it's already going towards that as axis, you can 100% tell me, that it's very obvious even to the blind that a lot of development is happening around there.
Yes.
So that place is still bushy, but the developments that are happening around there, there's no way it's not going to touch those places. I don't know if you understand. So a major
Yes.
development happening somewhere means it's still going to touch a part of that property. So don't just be blinded by, oh, it's still bush. Although check the trends. What's happening here? You can check the growth pattern of a product or of a land over the last 3 years. What has been happening in this place
Happening.
consistently, right? And with that, you can actually make a prediction to say, oh, probably in the next 3 years, this is something that is going to happen here. And I'm not sure you would go wrong 100% if you made that prediction based on what has happened in the past. So you want to start from the past and check the pattern, what has been happening here, and then you can use that to make inferences to say, oh, give it 2 or 3 years. This place is going to actually probably be developed to an extent, maybe not completely, but then you see a growth pattern which is continued from time to time.
Amazing. So, what can you predict the future of real estate in Nigeria? Let me just
In
say in
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Yes. What do you think would happen in real estate sector in like 10 years from now?
Okay. So I would say that I, as a young person, right, when I came into the real estate space, maybe not a lot of young people even wanted to own real estate then because
Yeah.
of the opportunities that was there, right? And people were thinking, oh, I need to have millions of naira before I can have a property and all of that. But now I think it's becoming mainstream that it's quite easy for you to own a property, probably due to payment plans that allows you to pay monthly, or let me say in 3 months or 6 months, 9 months, a year, and thereabouts, right? So if you check this pattern, like I mentioned initially, you need to check the pattern of something as it goes,
Yes.
right? Now, when we are talking about the old person, I say the old persons, the old generation, I don't know, I'm trying to struggle with my word now. But
Yeah.
not even the millennials now. I can't
The
remember what the
Gen
names they
X's.
call them. Yeah, those people are getting older, and these are the people that would be passing the baton to us, right? And now the young persons, let me say in Nigeria, we have more percentage of the young folks, right? And these people are
Yes.
already moving into owning properties. I have like two young persons currently. I mean, they're still in school, uni, right? And they are already saying, oh, they want to own a property, they want to own a property. And I can also make inferences to that to say in the next few months or in the next few years, we'll have more young people who wants to own properties
Yes.
because yes, this is what is happening. So you can definitely tell me that, or we can definitely, make a prediction to say in the next few years, owning of property is going to go a long way, right? Because
Yeah.
so many people are actually, trying to own, even if they are not going to necessarily buy a land at this point, because in Lagos,
Yeah.
finding the land is a hard work, right? Everybody has built almost everywhere. In fact, they're about to
Everywhere.
start building on the
There's no
windows,
breathing
right?
space.
So you want to build everywhere and all of that. So even if it's not owning a land, it might be buying a property or stuff, and that still also falls under the real estate
Yeah.
space. So just, due to what we can see now and the way it's booming over, a period of time, we can definitely say that real estate space, is going to blow even more because more young people are coming into it, and the
Into the
strength of
space.
a nation is actually the young people as it
Mm.
goes, right? So
I need to clap
that's
for this
just it.
point.
What's podcast doing?
Amazing.
All right.
So to everyone that's been watching, how has this been so far? What have been your takeaway from this session? So just as we wrap up, because I mean we've been here for about 45 minutes. So as we wrap up, I want to ask Olamide, what role do you think personal development has played in your career growth when it comes to real estate? Do you have routines that you know have helped you over the years to build maybe discipline or to even build courage? So please share in case there's anyone watching that is interested.
Okay, so I would say that when I started off, I wasn't this bold, right? In fact, I was always very, I was fidgeting. There was a time I had a client who we had already made an appointment, and when he came, I couldn't talk, right? So
Wow.
he left, and then, because I think he has the heart of a father, he had to message and say, whatever you are going to do, ensure that you are very courageous about it, and nobody's going to beat you. Be courageous. So I took those words and I held on to it and said, what's that? I'm not even doing anything wrong. I'm ensuring that I'm selling what I have to sell and all of that. So the first thing I know I took very conscious, or I was very conscious about, is ensuring that I know how to sell. So selling is actually a skill, right? Sales is everything. If you're going to sell whatever, anytime, any day, even as a
Yeah.
husband, as a wife, as a wife, majorly, I'm going to be gender biased. So as a wife, as a daughter, even as a sister, right? You need to you need to know how to sell. But now, just open to everyone. I'm just kidding on that note. But you need to know how to sell. It's a skill that is very important, right? Selling means that you are able to even convince somebody, even though they are telling you that they are not interested. Some people don't even know what they want, in the first place. So
Actually.
selling was one of the things I took as a skill, even though I'm still not a pro, right? But it's something that's been helping me over time. And I have people that I look up to, when they are in conversations, I'm watching, oh, how are they saying this? What are they saying? And all of that. And the second thing I had to do was improve my appearance. I cannot say I'm selling properties and I'm wearing a slippers to go and see a client. Like,
Yeah.
what on earth is that, right? So you want to also, I worked on my personal appearance. I don't like to wear heels. I prefer sneakers, Crocs, and all
Right,
those things.
right.
But sales, but sales has made me a master in wearing heels, because sometimes your appearance alone would even speak, you know, even without you saying anything yet. So I had to work on my physical appearance also. And so I already spoke about selling, sales as a skill, selling as a skill. My physical appearance, even communication skills is very important. How do you communicate? The other time I was saying that you meet some clients and then they'll start speaking quiz English for you. I had a
Yeah.
client like that who just, flew in, and this guy just came and was like, oh, hi, how you doing? I'm like, okay. And he's a Nigerian like me, codectic veto law. Like, I'm saying my Yoruba, sorry. Some people can be very funny. It wasn't quite long this guy left the country, right? But he got back and they started speaking English for me. I'm like, okay,
It's
where do
not
we
easy.
start from?
It's not easy to
Right?
breathe another kind of air from the one we.
So the moment he started speaking, I'm like, okay, where do we go from here? Right? But one of the things I know has really helped my communication skill is even to practice in front of the mirror. Right? So many times I just do a mirror check and I'm just talking to myself or trying to present something, even without presenting to anybody. I'll just dress up and stay in front of me and I'm talking, and it has helped my communication skill a lot, right? So many people would say things and then they'll be like, oh, where did you learn how to? I'm like, I didn't go to any school. I've just been helping myself in the house. And sometimes, see, YouTube is like the best place. I will call YouTube a mini university. It's a place where you can learn anything that you need to learn. So many times you check out I check out Grant Cardone. He's like one of the big guys in the real estate space in the world. I'm just checking him and I'm saying some things I would say, some of the words you don't even use. So these are some of the things that you want to develop on or you want to understand better how to like go about it. So there are so many skills that is very important, right? But I'm just highlighting these three that I've been able to work on consciously and I'm still working on myself. I'm not a pro. I need to make
Wow.
videos.
Wow. Me, I'll call you a pro. I'll give you a lot of thumbs up. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Dorcas.
much, Olamide,
Thank
for
you.
an amazing session. I mean, I had fun, and I also did learn a lot from some of the all of the responses that you gave so far today. Thank you. I was thinking
Thank
about
you.
it today. I think I even sent you that message that I was thanking you for being my first guest, right, on this
Thank
track.
you. It's an honor.
Such a great way to start this
Thank you.
series. So thank you so much. So I'm rounding up now and wrapping up. So there are two things I would like everyone watching, and those are going to still see this video again. What I want you to do first is to visit earblog.com. eoreblog.com. That is where you are going to find a lot of investment opportunities. Just like our guest has been hammering on it since, real estate is the next, it's not even the next big thing, it's the current big thing. Right now, there are a lot of people cashing out. People are saying there's no money in this country, but it's not true.
There's money.
There is money. So please
There's
visit
money.
eoreblog.com. You can check out a lot of investment insights. You can check there for, I mean, it's that place is loaded. And there's a particular tool you can use. There's a calculator, there's a property search, and there are maps that can also guide you in your search for genuine properties. Then after you visit eoreblog.com, please also visit rips.co. I'm saying it like this because who knows? You might just register and then just post the link for people to also check, use your referral code, use your referral link. Someone said, I think it was Adekunle Israel Adewumi that said there's a lot of sales in, yes. He said referral is the sweetest and easiest sale. Just the way Olamide got her first sale, she just posted on WhatsApp. That was all. That's all. You never can tell. So please visit our website and follow us on social media at Wittychat Properties. Follow us on social media. And then you can also call us on 081 3888 3406. 081 3888 3406. My name is Dorcas Adejoro, and you're going to be seeing me again on Sunday afternoon. And you cannot wait to listen to our next guest on this Wittychat live. Thank you so much, Olamide.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'll keep saying thank you, and I'm definitely going to continue this conversation with you. I need to learn from the pro, you know.
All
Let me
right. Thank
let
you so
you
much.
go rest.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you.
very
All
much for
right.
your time. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you,
Bye for
everyone.
now. See
Thank
you on Sunday.